Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and as usual we're gonna start with daily news from Spain. Today we have quite a lot of news, so I'm gonna try and do it as fast as we can. It's not to make this video quite long. So shocking news for yesterday's numbers. We've had 3,715 new cases of COVID here in Spain, which is a lot. It's a huge number. We are getting closer to the numbers that we've had at the beginning of the pandemics when we were closed down. So it's quite concerning for us as well, as of the people who live here. We think that eventually we're going to get closed down sooner than later, because this is the true record as for the last 4 months, this number. Our Spanish army are buying supplies, are buying protective wear, protective masks for COVID, and some machines to get the COVID testing done quicker. They're buying a lot of it. I suppose that they are keeping it somewhere closed down, just in case we will need it and we will have a lot more new cases and we'll need all this protective equipment, which is not a good sign either. So we'll see what's going to happen. Our medical system is living not the best times right now because it's quite hard. They do not attend by phone. It's truly impossible by phone to get to speak to someone from the medical center. It's impossible, and you cannot get an appointment in like 3 weeks because they are only attending now people with some certain symptoms, and if not, you can wait. That's what's happening now in the public medical service. Private ones, it's a different thing. They still do. They still have normal appointments. They still do everything as usual. But the public medical system is getting quite concerned because they don't have enough time to attend to help everyone, which is quite sad. But we cannot do anything with it, so we just have to live with it. There is one city here in Spain, on the south part of Spain. I have a map here that I did. The ones who don't know, I live right here, right near Benidorm, right here in Spain. This is our capital. This is Madrid. So I live here, and the city that was closed down is right here. So it's quite close to us. It's called Albacete. There's a small town right near it that got closed down after confirming 80 new cases. It wasn't closed down by the government. It's the people itself who decided to do that, which is quite positive. I think it's a positive action. Everyone else are just living their normal lives and waiting what the government will say. Spain is giving some help to the people that don't have any jobs, that don't have any income as it is, and they're giving the minimum necessary payment to survive, like survival minimum, which is 432 or 37 euros, something like that. They're giving it every month, and starting from June people could apply to it, and the government said that by September everyone will get paid, which is concerning because up until now only 1%, just one, not 10, not 20, not 30, 1% of all the people who applied for it got it. Everyone else doesn't know what's happening, if it's been approved, if it's been denied, if it's been checked or if it wasn't. They don't know anything about their payment. You know, it's so frustrating. People don't have anything to eat. They need to feed their families. They need to pay for a light, for just for food, you know, and They're not getting any help from the government. We're almost in September. Tony! My cat came back. Usually he's with me all the time when I do videos and when I do the news. That's my cat. Tony. That's my cat. That's Donnie. Yeah. You're gonna sleep with mommy. Yeah, you are. He's usually sleeping here, right here near me, so he's always here, even if you don't see him. Okay, so let's continue. So this minimum payment, it's already September, almost. In 2 weeks, it's going to be September, and only 1% received it, so it's quite frustrating for people. The worst thing about it is that you cannot do anything about it. It doesn't depend on people. It depends on when government will pay you, but we cannot do anything to make it faster. That's a sad thing about Spanish government. There has been, you know that in Barcelona, I talked about it with you yesterday. In Barcelona, in a small town right outside Barcelona, there was a problem with ocupas. These are the people who, I've mentioned it already, these are the people who enter illegally the property, like a house, an apartment, villas, just like living, property for living, and they refuse to go out, so they illegally occupy this property. So in this small town, people were making protests. They cut down the main street for the cars. They've been throwing eggs and stones and a lot of different things. So eventually, yesterday late evening, the police came and they managed to get the ocupas out of the house because they got the judge order to be able to take them out from that house. What's happening here in Spain with ocupas, as I told you yesterday, so the first 48 hours are the most important. If in 48 hours you don't manage to take them out of the house, then they are legally considered to be living in their usual house. So like it's their usual place of living, like permanent place of living. So then you have to wait for the judge's order to be able to throw them out. What's happening here in Spain, you can wait up until 1 year, 2 years, it depends on the luck that you have, or maybe even more, for the judge to say that yes, you can throw them out. If not, you have to wait, you cannot do anything about it. So in this case, as people were making huge protests in this city, the judge made it in the record time, like in 7 days, they are already out of the house, which is quite good. I don't think they'll be back to that city. I think they'll be afraid of the people who live there. So that's a good news for them. What's happening with the schools in Spain? So our school year will begin 7th of September, if nothing changes. Fingers crossed. Why? In Madrid now they're making protests as well because there's a huge lack of information as for educational system itself right now, because we don't have any news about how the school year will go. Will all the schools be open? If not, how will the children study? So if they will be able to go to school, if it's going to be online study or half and half, so we don't have any information at all as for now. And schools don't have any information on how they should prepare for the new school year. That's why it's so frustrating, because it's only, I think it's going to be only 10 days left. So on 27th of April, our Minister of Education will make a press conference with all the ministers for different Spanish areas, and they will decide on the measures that need to be taken if schools want to open this year. So it's going to be 10 days before the school year begins. 10 days. Who can change massively the school in 10 days? No one. So I don't know what's going to happen. That's why it's so frustrating, and a lot of people are getting angry because of this lack of information and last minute decisions, as always. The Spanish government. And in some places, like on North Spain, they decided by themselves that they will tell to the Minister of Education that they want to make the masks obligatory for every child from 6 years old and for all the teachers inside of a school, and as well as outside in the park on the school area, to be worn all the time, like 8 hours of school, masks. I don't know if it's good or bad. I suppose for the children's health it's not that good either, but that's just the balance that you need to make if you want them to have COVID, or if you want them to maybe have some difficulties or some, I don't know, skin problems or something, you know, just breathing problems, I don't know. So that's going to be the decision that they will need to make, what they want to do. Some of them say that all the teachers will be tested before they start working at school, and that children at school will be tested every now and then, starting from 4 years old, so from preschool. I think that's a good measure, but I don't know if all the parents would agree with the children to be tested at school. But that's their decision. I would agree personally, because then I would be calm. I would know that my child is free, my child is healthy. So I would personally agree to get her tested. I would get tested myself as well, as if I could. Spain and all Europe are talking now about Belarus. That's white Russia. White Russia. I don't know how you call it in English. Because there's been massive protests, and it's quite probable that it's gonna result in a civil war, as it was in Ukraine, because of the president elections there. They think it was illegal, it wasn't true, it wasn't as it should have been, and that the results were false, because as always the same president won, but all the people were voting for his opponent, for the lady Victoria. They were massively voting for her, but instead he won again. He's been for 25 years already president of Belarus, and everyone thought that it's going to change this year, but no. So that's why people are protesting right now. European Union and Spain are asking him to stop the protests, to help somehow to stop them and to prevent the civil war. He ordered to stop immediately all the protests on the streets of Belarus. However, we don't know how he's going to do it, because he's known for using military and army for such things, which is not going to help protests, but we'll see what's going to happen. Hopefully there's not going to be a civil war in there, but the situation is quite ugly, to be honest. Here in Spain we have a festival which is called Starlight. I'm not sure if any one of you know. It's in Marbella. It's on the south part of Spain. Donnie, give me the map. He was lying on the map. So this is where Malaga is, and Marbella is right here. It's on the south of Spain. So this festival Starlight started in Marbella. It's gonna be for the next few days. So some of you decide to travel to Spain, you can go there. It's quite good and positive to think that our music is starting to be alive. Our singers and artists are starting to perform again. Some of them didn't perform since October last year, which is quite a lot of time. But hopefully, I'm still being positive. I don't know. I'm still being positive, and I hope that the situation will end sooner than later. I don't know. I hope it's going to be that way, because people are frustrated, people are stressed out, people are concerned, are just, I don't know, people just don't want to stay in this situation anymore. They want changes, they want it to be over once for all, which hopefully will happen soon. So what about sports in here? The Champions League, you know that Spain is not participating in it anymore because Barcelona lost. So now in the final there will be Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain will be in the final. So it's going to be French and Germans. Let's see who will win. It's going to be on Sunday in Lisbon, Sunday evening. So on Monday morning I'll let you know who won the championship. Here in Spain, as for Spanish Football Club Barcelona confirmed 100% finally that the new coach for the club will be Koeman, and that he will be until June 2022. He'll be as the official coach of this football club, which doesn't mean he'll be until then. The previous coach also had a contract until 2023, but he was invited to disappear out of the club after they lost the Champions League 2-8, which is quite not a good score for Barcelona. So he said, the new coach said that there's going to be quite a lot of changes in the club, so we'll see what's going to happen. Maybe there'll be someone new joining Barcelona, maybe there's going to be someone who will be leaving, probably. So we'll see it in the next few days, maybe weeks. We'll see what's going to happen with this club, but it's going to be quite interesting. What about the weather? Weather here in Spain is still very warm, hot, suffocating, and we sincerely hope that summer will be over soon. Because it's very sunny, it's very hot, it's very humid, the air, at least in our area. North Spain is suffering from rains, but that happens quite a lot in that area. North Spain, I mean this area right here. This area right here where Atlantic Ocean is, right here. And a little bit this part, but here are the mountains, so they don't suffer of it that much, but this area does. The rest of Spain, no rain, no clouds, no nothing, just sunshine, heat, a lot of heat. And in our areas, in our Valencian community, it's going to be about 31-33 degrees, which is a standard temperature. And in all the rest of Spain, except North Spain, it's going to be 33 to 40 degrees. 40 degrees is going to be on the south part of Spain. The sea is very warm still. It's going to be warm until the end of September, probably, if the weather will be as usual. So until the end of September, you can still come. You can still, if you decide to come due to the situation, the weather will be still very good. The sea temperature is going to be quite good, 25-26 degrees. So until the end of September, beginning of October, you can still come and swim in the Mediterranean Sea. So that was all the news for today. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, you can leave the comments right here. Don't forget to subscribe and put a like if you enjoyed watching this video about the news in Spain, and see you tomorrow with latest news from our country. Thank you for watching me, and see you tomorrow.